Kelly's influence on the entertainment industry is profound, spanning years of creativity, charisma, and extraordinary physical talent. His performances in classic films like Singin' in the Rain not only redefined the musical genre, but also showcased a brilliant blend of storytelling and dance. Through his innovative choreography, he transformed both stage and screen, elevating dance to a vital means of expression. The combination of his athleticism, elegance, and emotional depth made him a worldwide symbol, and changed how male dancers were viewed in film. Exploring the peaks and valleys of Kelly's extensive career reveals a journey from humble beginnings and early challenges in Hollywood to the pinnacle of fame. His collaborations with other greats, personal sacrifices, and the lasting impact he made on dance, cinema, and popular culture are all part of his remarkable story. Born on August 23, 1912, in the East Liberty neighborhood of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, Gene Kelly grew up in a vibrant and supportive environment. He was the third of 5 children in a close-knit Irish-German Catholic family. His father, James Kelly, made a living as a phonograph salesman, while his mother, Harriet Curran Kelly, played a crucial role in nurturing her children's artistic talents. She was a strong advocate for the arts, encouraging her children to explore their creative sides. Although Gene initially gravitated towards sports and physical activities, his mother recognized the importance of arts education. At the age of 8, she enrolled him and his brother Fred in dance classes. Initially, both boys resisted this new venture, feeling it was less masculine compared to sports, which were more socially accepted for boys at that time. However, this early exposure to dance would eventually take root in Gene's life. Growing up in a culturally rich, working-class family instilled in him a strong work ethic and a deep appreciation for both tradition and innovation, qualities that would later shape his remarkable contributions to the world of entertainment. Growing up during the Great Depression, Gene Kelly faced many challenges due to his family's financial struggles. Initially, he wanted to be a journalist, but he soon realized that helping his family financially was more important. To contribute, he and his brother Fred entered local talent contests and performed at community events. Their synchronized and energetic dance routines caught the attention of many, leading to greater recognition. This passion for dance inspired the family to open the Gene Kelly Studio of the Dance in Squirrel Hill, where they taught various dance styles to support themselves. While pursuing higher education at the University of Pittsburgh, Gene earned a degree in economics. Despite his studies, he remained active in theater, choreographing routines for college performances, and seizing every chance to perform on stage. This balance between academics and dance was crucial in developing his unique style, blending technical skill with expressive movement, marking the start of his journey from a dedicated student to a professional artist. In 1937, after a short time at law school in Pittsburgh, Gene Kelly discovered that a legal career did not match his creative dreams or his growing passion for performance. The structured and formal nature of law left him yearning for a more expressive outlet. After just 2 months, he made a courageous choice to leave law school and dedicate himself entirely to dance. With confidence in his talents and a strong desire to explore choreography, Kelly moved to New York City, the epicenter of American theater, to chase his dreams in entertainment. The city was alive with talent and competition, but Kelly dove into classes, auditions, and stage performances. He worked hard to enhance his already athletic dance style, blending influences from ballet, tap, and jazz. His early experiences in New York were filled with determination as he balanced performing with teaching and learning from others. This period laid the foundation for what would become one of the most significant careers in musical history. In 1938, Kelly took his first major step into the professional world of entertainment by choreographing a local production in Pittsburgh. This opportunity, though modest, was significant as it allowed him to gain first-hand experience in creating original dance routines that enhanced the story and characters. During this time, he also appeared in various stage revues and summer stock theater productions. These roles tested his versatility and helped him develop his stage presence. Later that same year, he made his official Broadway debut. His combination of charisma, athleticism, and expressive movement quickly caught the attention of audiences and critics alike. His ability to teach and perform with precision and enthusiasm set him apart from his peers. As word spread about his unique style and professionalism, he began receiving offers for more prominent roles. By 1939, he secured his first job as a choreographer for a full Broadway musical, marking an early indication that Kelly's talent was as valuable behind the scenes as it was under the spotlight. In 1940, Gene Kelly experienced a pivotal moment in his career with his role in Pal Joey. This Broadway production was known for its bold themes and featured music by Richard Rodgers and lyrics by Lorenz Hart. Kelly took on the character of Joey Evans, a nightclub entertainer who was both charming and morally complex. This role required him to showcase not just his singing and acting skills but also his exceptional dancing ability. Critics praised Kelly for his captivating performance, noting how he seamlessly blended dance into the story. Unlike traditional performances that relied on rigid choreography, Kelly's approach was innovative. He tailored his movements to reflect the emotions of his character and the rhythm of the scenes, making dance an integral part of the narrative rather than just a visual spectacle. His work in Pal Joey set a new standard for American musical theater, emphasizing the importance of dance and storytelling. As Hollywood took notice of his talent and unique style, Kelly chose to remain on Broadway for a while longer, thoughtfully considering his next steps into film while maintaining his artistic vision. In 1941, Gene Kelly made a significant move to Hollywood, which transformed his career and the world of American cinema. His first film was For Me and My Gal, where he starred alongside the famous Judy Garland. Initially, he felt nervous about the camera and the techniques of film, but he quickly learned to adapt. His natural talent allowed him to bring his stage presence to the screen effectively. With Garland's support and guidance, the film became a success, marking the start of his impressive journey in Hollywood. As the years went by, Kelly's fame grew rapidly. In 1944, he starred in CoverGirl with Rita Hayworth, where he introduced innovative camera choreography. This technique involved using a moving camera to follow his dance, enhancing the visual experience instead of relying on static shots. However, it was Anchors Away in 1945 that truly established his legacy. The film included a groundbreaking animated sequence where Kelly danced with Jerry Mouse, blending live action with animation in a way that captivated audiences and critics. This remarkable performance earned him an Academy Award nomination, showcasing his talent not just as a dancer, but as a creative force, pushing the limits of musical film. Gene Kelly's collaboration with Fred Astaire marked a significant moment in the history of screen musicals. While both were celebrated dance icons, their styles were quite different. Astaire was known for his refined elegance and lightness, embodying a classic charm in his performances. In contrast, Kelly brought an athletic and grounded intensity that captivated audiences. Instead of viewing each other as rivals, they shared a deep respect for one another's artistry, which allowed them to create something special together. Their most famous collaboration took place in the 1945 film Ziegfeld Follies, where they performed the unforgettable tap number, the Babbitt, and the Bromide. This routine was more than just a dance. It represented a passing of the torch between two generations of dancers, celebrating their contrasting yet complementary styles. During this period, Kelly began to take charge of his choreography, showcasing his innovative spirit. He experimented with cinematic techniques like split screens, double exposures, and long tracking shots, which transformed how dance was presented on screen. For Kelly, dance was not merely about executing steps. It was a powerful means of storytelling. He infused emotion and narrative into each movement, creating a revolutionary approach to film dance that resonated with audiences and changed the landscape of musicals forever. During World War II, Kelly served in the U.S. Navy from 1944 to 1946, where he worked in the photographic section and contributed to instructional films. After returning from the Navy, MGM welcomed him back with a series of ambitious projects. The studio was in a transitional phase, and Kelly's return infused it with renewed energy and vision. One of his first roles after the war was in The Pirate in 1948, where he co-starred with Judy Garland. Although the film initially struggled to connect with audiences, it was visually and choreographically innovative, especially the number Be a Clown, which highlighted Kelly's athletic dancing and bold character work. A memorable moment in the film featured Kelly alongside the Nicholas brothers, Fayard and Harold, in a legendary tap sequence that combined acrobatics with rhythm in a groundbreaking manner. Kelly tirelessly advocated for creative control, and despite MGM's conservative approach, he gained more autonomy over his musical numbers. His efforts not only benefited his career, but also set a new standard for the genre, demonstrating how choreography could influence the structure and flow of a film's narrative. In 1949, Gene Kelly teamed up with Frank Sinatra and Stanley Donen for Take Me Out to the Ball Game, which set the stage for a more ambitious project, On the Town. This film became a landmark in the musical genre, notable for being the first to be filmed extensively on location in New York City. Co-directed by Kelly and Dunham, On the Town broke away from the traditional confines of soundstages, opting instead for real-world settings that infused the film with a sense of authenticity and energy that captivated audiences. The partnership between Kelly and Dunham continued to flourish with An American in Paris in 1951. This film was a visual and musical delight, featuring a remarkable 17-minute ballet sequence shot in vibrant Technicolor, a bold artistic decision that ultimately garnered 6 Academy Awards, including Best Picture. Kelly's discovery of Leslie Caron, a young ballerina from France with no prior acting experience, highlighted his dedication to integrating classical dance into American cinema. Their collaboration not only refined the art of Hollywood musicals, but also diversified the dance styles showcased on screen, leaving a lasting impact on the filmmaking landscape. In 1952, Gene Kelly co-directed, choreographed, and starred in what is now considered the greatest musical film of all time, Singin' in the Rain. This film is set during the challenging transition from silent films to talkies, offering a loving satire of early Hollywood, while showcasing remarkable technical and artistic achievements. One of the most famous scenes features Kelly's solo dance to the title song Singin' in the Rain. This sequence is a masterpiece of simplicity and expression, performed in one take, and filmed on a studio backlot in the pouring rain. The scene became iconic for its joyful movement and emotional depth. Despite battling a high fever during filming, Kelly delivered a performance that felt effortless and enchanting, overcoming the challenges of production. The film also highlighted standout performances by Donald O'Connor in the comedic Make Him Laugh number and Sid Charisse in the dreamlike ballet sequence. Kelly's influence permeated every frame, from choreography to staging, lighting, and pacing. With Singin' in the Rain, he not only entertained, but also redefined the possibilities of the musical film, securing his place in cinematic history. By the 1950s, Gene Kelly had achieved great success in Hollywood, but he felt limited by the constraints of studio demands and commercial pressures. In search of creative freedom, and inspired by favorable post-war tax incentives, he decided to film in Europe. This choice marked a significant change in his artistic journey. His most ambitious project during this time was Invitation to the Dance, released in 1956. This film was unique as it was entirely told through dance, without any spoken dialogue. It was structured as an anthology, featuring 3 distinct stories that combined elements of classical ballet, modern dance, and animation. Kelly aimed to elevate dance as a form of storytelling, placing it on the same level as spoken drama, and challenging the conventions of mainstream cinema. Although Invitation to the Dance was a personal passion project, and showcased impressive technical achievements, it did not perform well at the box office, and left many viewers puzzled. Critics had mixed reactions. Some admired its innovative approach, while others found it difficult to understand. Despite its commercial failure, Invitation to the Dance stands as a significant effort to blend high art with popular film, reflecting Kelly's unwavering ambition to expand the limits of cinematic expression. Upon returning to Hollywood, Kelly faced an industry that was changing rapidly. The rise of television in American homes was pulling audiences away from movie theaters, which led studios to cut budgets and rethink how they made films. Musical films, which had once been very popular, were no longer seen as sure hits. In this challenging environment, Kelly's next project, Brigadoon, ran into many problems. This film was based on a successful Broadway show, and needed beautiful Scottish landscapes to match its enchanting story. However, due to budget issues and logistical challenges, MGM executives turned down Kelly's request to film in Scotland. Instead, the entire movie was shot on soundstages, using painted backdrops and artificial fog to create the illusion of the Scottish Highlands. Although Kelly gave a strong performance and the choreography was graceful, the film did not have the realism and grandeur he had hoped for. These disappointments added to Kelly's growing frustration with MGM. As creative differences increased, and the studio shifted its focus away from grand musicals, Kelly began to quietly plan his exit, wanting to complete his contract before pursuing more independent and meaningful projects. Despite the growing difficulties, Gene Kelly continued to create innovative work during his final years at MGM. In 1955, he co-directed It's Always Fair Weather alongside Stanley Donen. The film stood out for its satirical tone and darker themes, exploring the disillusionment of war veterans in post-war America. This was a notable departure from the optimistic tone of earlier musicals. One of its most memorable scenes featured Kelly dancing on roller skates in a perfectly choreographed urban routine, proving that he was still willing to take creative risks. The film received critical praise, but struggled at the box office, reflecting the declining popularity of the genre. In 1957, Kelly starred in Les Girls, a musical comedy directed by George Cukor that marked his final musical film for MGM. The film was a modest success, and earned an Academy Award for Best Costume Design. Seeking to broaden his scope, Kelly also directed The Happy Road, a light-hearted Franco-American film that showcased his interest in blending cultures and humor without relying on song and dance routines. This shift marked a turning point, as Kelly began exploring genres and themes beyond the musical, hoping to reshape his legacy as a filmmaker, not just a performer. In 1958, Kelly directed the screen adaptation of Flower Drum Song, marking a significant moment in Hollywood history as it featured a predominantly Asian American cast. His direction showed a remarkable sensitivity to representation, which was quite progressive for that time, even though the film still faced challenges due to the limited cultural understanding of the era. That same year, Kelly reached a pinnacle in the dance world when he was invited by the Paris Opera to choreograph a ballet, making him the first American to receive this honor. The performance was a stunning blend of Greek mythology and the music of George Gershwin, showcasing a unique fusion of classical and contemporary styles. This work was celebrated and solidified Kelly's reputation as an innovator and choreographer on an international scale. For his achievements, the French government recognized him with the Chevalier de la Légion d'honneur, one of its highest distinctions. Kelly's enthusiasm for artistic exploration did not diminish. He took on dramatic roles like in Inherit the Wind in 1960, where he performed alongside legends such as Spencer Tracy. He remained active in directing and choreographing new projects, demonstrating that even as the golden age of Hollywood musicals began to fade, Gene Kelly's creative spirit continued to thrive and push boundaries. In a pivotal moment that revealed his uncompromising artistic integrity, Gene Kelly famously turned down the opportunity to direct The Sound of Music, despite it being offered by 20th Century Fox. The project would go on to become one of the most beloved and commercially successful musicals of all time under Robert Wise. However, Kelly declined due to creative differences and a lack of alignment with the film's tone and vision. He believed the material didn't resonate with his more modern and realistic storytelling style, which increasingly leaned toward innovation and subtlety rather than sentimentality. Around this time, Kelly turned to educational and experimental television, creating works like Dancing is a Man's Game, a groundbreaking documentary that sought to challenge gender stereotypes about dance, featuring sports icons like Mickey Mantle, Sugar Ray Robinson, and Johnny Unitas. The special illustrated the shared physical demands between athletics and dance. It earned an Emmy nomination and reflected Kelly's lifelong mission to redefine how dance was perceived, particularly in the realm of masculinity and mainstream culture. Throughout the 1960s, Gene Kelly remained active in both television and film, adapting to a rapidly changing entertainment landscape. He starred in the TV adaptation of Going My Way, based on the Bing Crosby film, portraying Father Chuck O'Malley in a short-lived but well-regarded series. This role allowed him to connect with audiences in a new format, showcasing his talent and charm. Kelly also appeared in variety specials alongside major stars like Julie Andrews and Carol Burnett, which highlighted his enduring appeal and dance expertise to new generations. His directorial skills were in demand, leading to contracts with Universal Pictures and 20th Century Fox. During this time, he directed A Guide for the Married Man, a satirical comedy starring Walter Matthau that poked fun at marital infidelity through a series of humorous vignettes. Although it was not a critical masterpiece, it demonstrated Kelly's flair for pacing and visual humor. His most ambitious film of the era came in 1969 with Hello, Dolly, starring Barbra Streisand. Lavish, colorful, and full of old Hollywood grandeur, the film was nominated for multiple Academy Awards and remains one of the last big-budget musicals of the studio era. It showcased Kelly's ability to helm massive productions, even if it clashed with his evolving taste for more intimate, modern projects. The success of Hello, Dolly briefly reignited interest in the traditional musical, but Gene Kelly soon shifted his focus back to television, where he found new creative opportunities. In 1970, he returned to the small screen with the special Gene Kelly and 50 Girls, a colorful and energetic program that featured elaborate dance sequences with a large ensemble of female dancers. This special served as both a celebration of his past work and a reminder of his enduring physical skill. That same year, he made headlines by negotiating an unprecedented salary for a Las Vegas performance, asserting his continued value as an entertainer well into middle age. Kelly then directed The Cheyenne Social Club, a Western comedy starring James Stewart and Henry Fonda, which explored themes of friendship and aging in the Old West. He also reunited with Frank Sinatra for a nostalgic TV special, reflecting on their earlier collaborations and showcasing musical highlights. In 1974, Kelly appeared in That's Entertainment, a documentary tribute to MGM's golden age of musicals. His heartfelt narration and on-screen presence helped rekindle public interest in classic Hollywood, leading a new generation to discover the genre's richness and charm. Riding the wave of success from the first That's Entertainment documentary, Gene Kelly co-directed That's Entertainment Part 2 in 1976. This time, he shared the screen with his longtime friend and fellow legend Fred Astaire. Even though both men were in their 60s, they brought a sense of joy and nostalgia to the project. They shared personal anecdotes, introduced iconic clips from their careers, and most memorably, danced together once more. Convincing Astaire to return to the dance floor was a challenge, but Kelly's charm and persistence won out. Their duet was a gentle yet precise routine, serving as a heartfelt tribute to their legacy and a special gift for fans who had long admired their contributions to cinema. In his personal life, Kelly sought to connect with family audiences, appearing in wholesome television programming with his children, including variety shows and holiday specials. Despite his enduring appeal, not all of Kelly's later projects were successful. A notable misstep was Viva Knievel, in 1977, where he played a supporting role in a fictionalized action film starring Evel Knievel. The film was poorly received by critics and did not perform well at the box office, highlighting the risks of straying too far from his strengths. Nevertheless, through both highs and lows, Kelly's dedication to performance, innovation, and integrity remained steadfast. Xanadu marked Gene Kelly's final on-screen role, showcasing his talent in the 1980 fantasy musical alongside Olivia Newton-John. This film uniquely combined roller disco, Greek mythology, and musical fantasy, presenting a stark contrast to the classic musicals that defined his earlier career. Although critics harshly reviewed Xanadu, and it struggled at the box office, it later developed a cult following. This resurgence was largely due to its vibrant soundtrack by Electric Light Orchestra, which resonated with audiences, along with its flamboyant style and nostalgic connection to Kelly's Last Dance performance. Even in his late 60s, Kelly infused the film with warmth and professionalism, lending credibility and charm to a project that was otherwise uneven. Shortly after Xanadu, Kelly's last involvement in live-action cinema occurred when director Francis Ford Coppola enlisted him to choreograph a sequence for the ambitious 1982 film One from the Heart. Despite its lavish production and visual creativity, this film also faced critical and commercial failure, reflecting the changing landscape of the film industry in the 1980s. Audiences had shifted away from musicals, and studios became reluctant to invest in experimental or dance-driven projects, even with the involvement of renowned talents like Coppola and Kelly. In 1985, Kelly took on the role of ambassador for the arts by co-hosting and executive producing That's Dancing, a documentary-style film that explored the evolution of dance on screen from the silent era to modern musicals. This film built on the success of That's Entertainment and provided a thorough overview of iconic dance moments in cinema. It served as a heartfelt tribute to the art form that had defined his life. Kelly used this platform to honor past legends, while highlighting the artistic importance of dance in storytelling and popular culture. Even as he grew older, Kelly remained a dedicated educator and preservationist, committed to ensuring that younger generations understood the significance of dance in film history. His final on-screen appearance was in That's Entertainment 3 in 1994, where he shared cinematic memories with personal insights and genuine emotion. Despite his frailty, his charisma shone through. After his death in 1996, Kelly's last professional credit came in 1997 with Cats Don't Dance, an animated film where he worked as a choreographic consultant. His influence continued to shape the movement of animated characters, demonstrating that even in his later years, he was still innovating, bridging the gap between live-action choreography and animation. Off-screen, Gene Kelly was known for his vivacious personality and passion for socializing, particularly during the height of his fame in the 1940s. Alongside his first wife, actress Betsy Blair, Kelly hosted lively Hollywood parties that brought together the city's creative elite: actors, dancers, musicians, and intellectuals. The couple shared a politically active lifestyle, even weathering scrutiny during the Red Scare for their progressive views. Their marriage produced a daughter, Carrie Kelly, but eventually ended in divorce in 1957, though they remained on respectful terms. Later, Kelly found love again with Gene Coyne, a talented choreographic assistant who had worked with both him and Stanley Donen. Their relationship was deeply rooted in mutual respect and artistic partnership, and they had 2 children together, Timothy and Bridget. Coyne's death in 1973 was a devastating blow to Kelly, who became more private afterward. Years later, in 1990, he surprised many by marrying Patricia Ward, a writer and researcher 47 years his junior. Their bond was based on companionship and shared intellectual pursuits, and she remained by his side until his death in 1996. Through all of his marriages, Kelly maintained strong ties with his children and took pride in his role as a father. In 1983, a fire broke out in Gene Kelly's Beverly Hills home, marking a tragic moment in his life. Although he suffered minor burns, his quick thinking allowed him to save his family and pets from harm. This incident was both traumatic and symbolic, representing a literal loss of part of his past, and a metaphor for the fading golden age of Hollywood that he once ruled. Despite the damage to his home, Kelly's legacy continued to shine brightly. He was awarded Irish citizenship, a recognition of his heritage and pride in his Irish roots, which he often spoke about in interviews and personal writings. Over the years, he built an extensive archive filled with personal correspondence, photographs, film memorabilia, and choreographic notes. Understanding the importance of his work, Kelly made sure these materials would be preserved for future generations. Today, his archive is housed at Boston University, where scholars, artists, and fans can explore his contributions in depth. In his later years, Kelly remained a beloved figure, admired not only for his cinematic brilliance, but also for the dignity, intelligence, and unwavering dedication to the art of dance that he carried with him until the very end. In the twilight of his life, Gene Kelly faced a series of devastating health challenges that slowly drew the curtain on a remarkable career. After decades of tireless physical performance and creative output, his body began to fail him. In 1994, he suffered a debilitating stroke that affected his mobility and speech. Despite limited movement and growing frailty, he remained mentally sharp, enjoying time with his family and reflecting on his life's work. A second stroke in early 1995 left him severely incapacitated and required full-time care. Throughout these final months, he was lovingly supported by his wife Patricia Ward Kelly, who acted not only as his caregiver, but also as the protector of his privacy and dignity. On February 2, 1996, Gene Kelly passed away peacefully at his Beverly Hills home at the age of 83, surrounded by those who loved him most. In keeping with his wishes for simplicity and privacy, there was no funeral or memorial service. He had long expressed his discomfort with public spectacle and death, and requested a quiet farewell, a request that Patricia honored without hesitation, reflecting the grace and humility that characterized both his personal and professional life. Following his death, Patricia Ward Kelly took on the vital role of guardian to Gene Kelly's memory and legacy. Having been his wife, biographer, and closest companion during his final years, she possessed a unique perspective on his life, one that extended far beyond the spotlight. Patricia often spoke candidly about the challenges they faced, including constant media speculation, the scrutiny of their age difference, and the emotional toll of Kelly's declining health. Despite these obstacles, their bond remained strong, built on mutual admiration, shared intellect, and unwavering respect. After his passing, Patricia dedicated herself to preserving and promoting his artistic achievements. She curated exhibits, delivered lectures, and consulted on retrospectives around the world, always emphasizing Gene's humanity alongside his fame. Her stewardship has ensured that his vast archive of personal letters, recordings, photographs, and film artifacts continues to be accessible for research and inspiration. Through her tireless work, Patricia not only upheld his legacy but also enriched it, offering the world a more intimate, complete understanding of the man behind the legend. As the video unfolds, it reveals the long-hidden details surrounding Gene Kelly's death, shedding light on the circumstances that led to his passing. The exploration of his life and career highlights not only his immense talent, but also the struggles he faced. The revelations about his health and the challenges he encountered in his later years provide a deeper understanding of the man behind the iconic performances. Viewers are invited to reflect on the legacy he left behind, which continues to inspire generations of artists. The emotional weight of his story resonates, reminding us of the fragility of life and the enduring power of creativity. The video captures the essence of Kelly's spirit, celebrating his contributions to dance and film while acknowledging the personal battles he fought. This blend of admiration and revelation creates a poignant narrative that honors his memory and invites viewers to appreciate the artistry he brought to the world.